Welcome to KeepItReal Studios, the only channel on YouTube that keeps it real. Water, earth, fire, air. These are all the 4 elements in the Avatar Last Airbender. These 4 elements are contained within this universe. They are all controlled by the Avatar Aang. But in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about what are the 4 main elements in the show that you would think is the most prominent. So I'm going to get a little bit more into this by asking you specific questions and trying to narrow down which one you agree with the most. Starting off with the first question. Out of the 4 elements, which one would you like to control? So out of all the 4 elements within the Avatar universe, which elements would you like to control? So I myself am looking at it through a point of view in real life. I'm trying to think of it on a day-to-day basis. So how would this come in handy in my life? I would most likely have to go with either water or air, because I believe fire and earth are a little bit too destructive. It's just going to take over the whole place. So I believe maybe water or air would probably be the element I would like to control in real life circumstances. Maybe air, just to kind of move around freely, kind of freak people out. I feel like air, if I had to pick between those two, I'll definitely pick water and air to control in real life. On to the second question. Rank the 4 nations from strongest to weakest. So I'm going to repeat this question one more time. Rank the 4 nations from strongest to weakest. So in this part, I am talking about the nations, not the elements or the benders. I'm talking about the nation as a whole. So even the little weak ass kids in the water nation, they can get it too. If I have to rank them from strongest, obviously I would have to give it to the Fire Nation. That's why I decided it would be easier to go from strongest to weakest. The Fire Nation ruled for like 100 years, so it just makes sense to put them on top. Then I'll obviously put Earth Nation, because it was such a big deal in season 2, just being in the Earth Kingdom. So obviously I think it's easy to narrow down between the top 2 strongest nations, which is Fire, then Earth. Now, this is where I believe it gets a little bit tricky, because a lot of people tend to think it's air, but air is not really a weak nation. They were just peaceful. And you gotta remember, when the Fire Nation attacked the air benders, it was like Sozan's comet, so they were even more amplified. They couldn't just attack them on a regular day, and Aang wasn't even there to save them that day. There's a little more things to it than you realize. So this is where it's a little bit of a toss-up between water and air. I'm not really too sure which is the weakest. So comment down below, who do you think is going to be the weakest? I'm still kind of going back and forth. If I had to choose the weakest, maybe air, because they still got wiped out, because that's the only definitive proof if I have to be truthfully harsh. But I don't know, I still feel like air, they aren't really a weak nation. They were just more peaceful. On to the third question. Which element is the best? So far I've asked which element would you like to control, ranking the nation. Now, which element do you think is the best? With the side bendings too as well. Because fire benders can also lightning bend. Earth benders can metal bend, water benders can blood bend, and also air benders can actually essentially fly. So within all of that, which element do you think is the best or makes you the strongest? If I have to pick, I would definitely have to go with water bending, just because of blood bending is such a crazy feat, and the fact that you can kind of control anyone's blood. I feel like earth bending is probably the most underrated, because I feel like people downplay earth benders a lot. Because if you think about it, imagine a big rock just going at you, like someone just throws a big boulder of rock at you. You're gonna get squashed like a bug. I feel like in Avatar The Last Airbender, they really downplay people getting hit by boulders. But so I'll definitely pick water bending as the strongest, earth bending as the most underrated. I'll say if I'm kind of at the crossroads between these 2 elements. If I had to pick, I'll probably choose, I don't know, fire bending is just the most destructive. But I don't know, air bending is really good too, because you can kind of take out someone's breath of them breathing. I feel like this whole question has just been between water bending and air bending. It's interesting. Now for the last question. This is one I'm not even going to answer myself. This is a question I have for everybody watching. So you know how the airbenders got wiped out by the Fire Nation? If you had to replace another nation, who would you pick? Would you still rather be the air nomads getting wiped out? Which nation would you pick to have gotten wiped out instead? But that's the question I have for all of you. Please comment down below some of your thoughts and opinions. Please also comment down below how you feel about some of the questions I asked. I thought this would be a fun little video just to do on my channel, because in my channel I feel like I do a lot of different type of styles, so I wanted to do something a little bit more new. But please comment down below, tell me what you think about this video. That'll be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and don't forget to keep it real.